Hey, what's up, y'all, man? It's your boy, Yash Chosen One Man at it again. Just want to, this is probably going to be my last chapter today out of the book of Jasher. I'm going to do a chapter 2 of Exodus. Um, yeah, probably going to be my last chapter today out of the book of Jasher. This is a pretty long chapter. It's a very important chapter, though, because it leads up to Exodus chapter 2 and lets you know everything that was going on between Exodus chapter 1 and Exodus chapter 2. There were some things being done, so we kind of need to really pay attention to this right here, okay? And there was a man in the land of Egypt of the seed of Levi, whose name was Amram, the son of Kehath, the son of Levi, the son of Israel. So he's a Levite, so he was kind of free. He was free because remember the Levites didn't fall for that deception. And this man went and took a wife, namely Jochebed, the daughter of Levi, his father's sister. And she was 126 years old, and he came unto her. Holy cow, 126 years old, and they still getting it on. Man, I want to be that way when I get older, man. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. She was 126 years old, man. They still banging. Dang. And the woman conceived and bare a daughter, and she called her name Miriam, because in those days the Egyptians had embittered the lives of the children of Israel. And today they would say Mary. This is Miriam. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Aaron. For in the days of her conception, Pharaoh began to spill the blood of the male children of Israel. So his name was Aaron. So Aaron means blood spiller or blood spilling. So we have a daughter named Embittered Life, and then we have a son named Spilling Blood. Hard times going on in Egypt right here. In those days died Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, son of Esau, king of Chittim, and Janius reigned in his stead. So Zepho never got to exact revenge against the sons of Israel. He never, through his lifetime, had a chance to exact revenge against them. You know, he did do some good things for the Edomites. He pretty much conquered Asia, and eventually went up to Europe and to Italia. And you know, all that eventually became Europe, and you know, and that's why you have the light-skinned Asians and stuff like that. So Zepho actually did a lot for the Edomites. And the time that Zepho reigned over the children of Chittim was 50 years, and he died and was buried in the city of Nabna in the land of Chittim. And Janius, one of the mighty men of the children of Chittim, reigned after him, and he reigned 50 years. And it was after the death of the king of Chittim that Balaam, the son of Beor, fled from the land of Chittim, and he went and came to Egypt, to Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Now, these are the same people. This guy fled to Egypt, this Balaam, what a coward. And Pharaoh received him with great honor, for he had heard of his wisdom, and he gave him presents and made him for a counselor, and aggrandized him. And Balaam dwelt in Egypt in honor with all the nobles of the king, and their nobles exalted him because they all coveted to learn his wisdom. And his wisdom was full of sorcery, slander, and just dark magic. And in the 130th year of Israel's going down to Egypt, Pharaoh dreamed that he was sitting upon his kingly throne, and lifted up his eyes and saw an old man standing before him, and there were scales in his hand of the old man, such scales as are used by merchants. And the old man took the scales and hung them before Pharaoh. And the old man took all the elders of Egypt and all his nobles and great men, and he tied them together and put them in one scale. And he took a milk kid and put it in the other scale, and the kid preponderated over all. And Pharaoh was astonished at this dreadful vision, while the kid should preponderate over all. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And Pharaoh rose up early in the morning and called all his servants and related to them the dream. And the men were greatly afraid. And the king said to all his wise men, interpret, I pray you, the dream which I dreamed, that I may know it. And Balaam, the son of Beor, answered the king and said unto him, this means nothing else but a great evil that will spring upon against Egypt in the latter days. For a son will be born to Israel, who will destroy all Egypt and its inhabitants, and bring forth the Israelites from Egypt with a mighty hand. Now therefore, O king, take counsel upon this matter, that you may destroy the hope of the children of Israel and their expectation, before this evil arise against Egypt. And the king said unto Balaam, and what shall we do unto Israel? Surely after a certain manner did we at first counsel against them and could not prevail over them. Now therefore, give you also advice against them, by which we may prevail over them. And Balaam answered the king, saying, send now and call thy 2 counselors, and we will see what their advice is upon this matter, and afterward thy servant will speak. And the king sent and called his 2 counselors, Ruel the Midianite, and Job the Uzite. So here we have Ruel and Job again. Let me just see something here, man. I'm very inquisitive right now. I want to look in the book of Job and see if Ruel is actually in here somewhere. You know what? I'll look at my concordance and see if the word Ruel is in there in the book of Job. So what did we say? We said rule, right? Okay. All right, rule. R-E-U-L. Rule. Nope, he's not in there. He's in First Chronicles. Okay, that's good. That's nice to know. That's really nice to know. Okay, good. All right. All right, what was that? Okay, Rule. And Refuel and Job were his counselors. He's an Uzite. And the king said to them, behold, you have both heard the dream which I have dreamed, and the interpretation thereof. Now therefore give counsel, and know and see what is to be done to the children of Israel, whereby we may prevail over them before their evil shall spring up against us. And Refuel the Midianite answered the king and said, May the king live forever. And it seemed good to the king, let him desist from the Hebrews and leave them, and let him not stretch forth his hand against them. All right, this probably would have been the best advice he could have took from this Midianite guy. It seemed like Ruel actually had the right answer. For these are they whom Yah chose in days of old, and took as the lot of his inheritance from amongst all the nations of the earth and the kings of the earth. And who is there that stretched his hand against them with impunity, of whom their power was not avenged? So Ruel is very wise. So he knows who we are. Just like pretty much the whole world knows who we are, I think. You know? Because I think like the smart people of the world, the real intelligent people know, like elitists, they definitely know who we are as a people, man. You know, whether they want to swallow their pride and like, you know, adhere to it, that's another thing, but they know who we are. Surely thou knowest that when Abraham went down to Egypt, Pharaoh, the former king of Egypt, saw Sarah, his wife, and took her for a wife, because Abraham said, she is my sister. For he was afraid lest the men of Egypt should slay him on account of his wife. And when the king of Egypt had taken Sarah, when the Almighty smote him and his household with heavy plagues, until he restored unto Abraham his wife Sarah, then was he healed. And Abimelech the Gerarite, king of Philistines, the Most High punished on account of Sarah, wife of Abraham, and stopping up every wound from man to beast. When their power came to Abimelech in the dream of night and terrified him in order that he might restore Abraham Sarah, whom he had taken, and afterward all the people of Gerar were punished on account of Sarah, and Abraham prayed to his power for them, and he was entreated of him, and he healed them. And Abimelech feared all this evil that came upon him and the people, and he returned to Abraham his wife Sarah, and gave him with her many gifts. And he did so also to Isaac, when he had driven him from Gerar, and the Almighty had done wonderful things to him, that all the water courses of Gerar were dried up, and their productive trees did not bring forth, until Abimelech of Gerar and Ahuzeth, one of his friends, and Pekal, the captain of the host, went to him, and they bent and bowed down before him to the ground. All right. So we're going to start right there, man. It's a pretty long chapter. I'm going to catch you on the next video on it. So I'll make this a 2-part video. So that was verse 35. That was verse 35. So we'll begin on verse 36 on the next video. I hope you guys are getting information, because it's actually about to get even more interesting, and you're going to find out where Moses got that so-called stick. When the Most High asked him for that rod or stick, you're going to see where that stick came from, what that stick really was. You know what I'm saying? So you guys just hold it down. I'm going to catch you guys on the next video, and you know, peace be with you. Shalom. And may you continue to study hard. Go hard, man, when you study. Shalom.